But our study is more than just another econometric study of M&A or advisors to M&A. Stepping back for a moment, I would argue, at least personally, that this study tells us something about the broader issue of the geography of finance. Now, to characterize thinking about the geography of finance, I show the old school. And that way of thinking about geography from geographical studies, from the geography of finance literature and so forth, tends to think about international financial centers and investment flows as occurring across time and space, across oceans and countries. And the way we measure that geography is in the old school terms of latitude and longitude, where it is in the country, where it is in geography, looking at Silicon Valley, for example. And even the geographical school is typically portrayed by the old-style geographer going out and tracking on the ground where the banks are, where the investors are. And so not to deprecate against that view, but instead to offer an alternative view of geography. And that view is almost postmodern. It's the view of geography that has been evolving for decades, and is even shown by certain types of metro maps. The beauty of metro maps is this delinking of geographical place and distance with distance on the world. So you could portray metro stations not in actual distance, making the maps very large, but in terms of relative distance by which stations are next. And that's why we consider metro maps so beautiful and helpful. In the same way, like we use a metro map, we can use a M&A advisor's map. We can create a new coordinate system. We can think about new geographies as we think about this new geography of finance. And so one very simple geography of finance, as we've been talking about previously, is mapping advisors or financial centers or even clients along the dimension of legal complexity and diversification. So instead of using latitude and longitude and saying 21 degrees east by 17 degrees north, why not use this alternate coordinate system of 0 to 1 for legal complexity and 0 to 5 for differentiation, giving an equally valid coordinate system? And as we show in the map of the world and the probabilities of various advisors receiving M&A going out mandates, we see their location on this map, as you see in the slide, but it is equally possible and far more helpful, in my opinion, to portray each of these points by a unique location in complexity, diversification space, or a whole range of other geographies that we talk about in the paper. Notice if we do that, then we don't have all this wasted space. There are 4 advantages to thinking about geography in this way rather than just plunking everything on a map of the world. The first, of course, is that you still get a unique coordinate system, which is vital if you want to talk about one place rather than the other. However, the reason why geographers often use geographical space is its transitivity. In other words, we know that we can talk about a population center, we can talk about environmental changes, we can talk about all kinds of various changes happening in the same place at the same time. And that's the power of geography, is to look at the way different variables change for the same place, or different places for the same time, or different times with different places. Now, using an alternate coordinate system provides the same beauty without all the wasted space of geographical space. It's dynamic, as we've shown in the presentation, and even more importantly, it's communicative. And what that means is that we can grab results from one part of our study on differentiation and drag it all the way through to currency changes or other changes, much like geographers try to do imprecisely when they make arguments about the way environmental or pollution changes affect, let's say, morbidity or changes in income across geographical space. And so removing the geographical spaces, we're taught to think about it in grade school, and instead using what mathematicians and economists are very comfortable with, which are these spaces, multidimensional spaces, that just makes the exercise of thinking about advisors just that much easier.